Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial I will be showing you how to do this ear warmer. It is an adjustable ear warmer by using two buttons. I do sell a lot at craft shows. This is one of my top sellers and it does fit both little girls up to women sizes just because it is adjustable. You can make it smaller just by crocheting less rows, but for this tutorial, I will be showing you how I do this one, and like I said, this is my top seller at craft shows. So for this tutorial, you will be needing one skein of yarn. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. I can get 4 ear warmers out of this. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using this sparkly red. It is called Red. And it's the metallic. I love this yarn. You're going to be using a size J crochet hook. You'll need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle. You're going to need 3 white buttons. I picked this pack up at Joann's for 99 cents. It's 8 buttons. And then you'll need 2 stitch markers. You don't necessarily have to use stitch markers if you want to count your stitches. I always use stitch markers. I always use bobby pins. So for this one, I'm going to use 2 of these. If you want to use a stitch marker, you're more than welcome to. I just think these are easier. All right, let's get started. To begin, we're going to want to chain 61. If at any time throughout this video I seem too fast for you, please feel free to pause the video to catch up. And then periodically throughout the video, I will be pausing as well. So to begin, we're going to do a slip knot. And then we want to go ahead and chain 61. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. I'm going to do a chain of 61. I will end when I have 55 done. I'll come back and finish the rest with you. Go ahead and work your chain of 61. Here I am at the end. I have worked 55 chains. I need to do 61, so here we go with 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. Now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in each of the next 10 chain stitches. So here we go with 1 single crochet. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 single crochets. Now in each of the next 5 chains, I'm going to work a half double crochet. So here we go with 1 half double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now this is where you want to use, if you're going to use your stitch markers, this is where I use mine. I'm going to put in this 5th half double crochet my chain or my stitch marker. And there we go. And now I'm going to work a double crochet in each of the next 30 chain stitches. So here we go with the first double crochet. And the second, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, chain. I want to continue to have 30 double crochets. I'm on number 5. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and I will meet you at the end of the 30 double crochets. Here I am at number 25. I want to do 30 double crochets, so I'm going to go with number 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Now I want to do 5 half double crochets, so I go with 1, and this is where I'm going to put my second stitch marker in. Go ahead and put it in this stitch here, and now I'm on number 2 of the half double crochets, 3, 4, and 5. And then to end, we should have 10 chain stitches left. I want to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 10 single crochets. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And this is what it should look like. So for our next row, we're going to do, and we're going to do 7 rows. So for our next row, we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And you basically just want to repeat this across. You're going to do 10 single crochets, 5 half double crochets, 30 double crochets, 5 more half double crochets, and end with 10 single crochets. So here we go with the first single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it looks like here my yarn has a knot because it looks like they ran out and they knotted it together. I'm just going to go ahead and work with that. Just going to go right there. And let me say I was on 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 5, 6, and it will hide in my work. I'm not worried about it. 7, 8, 9, and 10. I can go ahead and push that in and work around that. So here we go with 5 half double crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and take out your stitch marker. Work number 5. And then put your stitch marker back in so you know. I do this in case I lose count, then I don't have to count them all. I know that this is the 5th. So just in case. Now I'm going to go ahead and work my double crochets, which is 30 of those. 5 more half double crochets. I will take out my stitch marker, work my half double crochet, and then put it back in. And then I will meet you at the end. Go ahead and work those, and then we'll see you at the end. Here I am at the end of row 2. I just have 5 more to go. I'm on 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60. Now just chain 1 and turn, and then we're just going to continue in the same pattern, doing 10 single crochets, 5 half double crochets, 30 double crochets, 5 half double crochets, and end with 10 single crochets. We're on Row 2, we're going to do a total of 7 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here. I'm going to work the rest of my rows and I will meet you at the end of row 7. End of row 7, I'm on number 56, 57, and these are single crochets, 58, 59, 60. And now we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to be edging our ear warmer. This is what our ear warmer will look like. And now we're just going to be edging it. So to edge the ear warmer, I am going to do 15 single crochets in the next 15 stitches. So here I go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then I'm going to end in this with the stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and pull that one out. I won't need that no more. This is my 15th single crochet. Now I'm going to do half double crochets in the next 30 stitches. So I'll do the first 5 with you. So here's the first half double crochet, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a total of 30 half double crochets. I will meet you at the end of my 30. I at the end of my half double crochets. I'm on number 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And now you're just gonna do single crochets in the last 15 stitches. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out this stitch marker, put it aside. I don't need it no more. There's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we want to do all the way to the end with single crochets. So I will meet you there. And up on the 12th single crochet, here I am with 13, 14, and 15. Now since we're at the end of the row, we're not going to turn, we're going to keep going around and edging. So what I do here is I put another single crochet in this corner stitch, and then I work evenly across my rows putting a single crochet. So I'm going to go into the next row here. That's 1, that's 2 actually, because we put 1 in the corner. So that's 2. Here I am with 3. There should be a total of 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I'm going to be working on the other edge. So here I am in the corner. I'm going to put 2 single crochets in this corner stitch. Just make sure I grab the corner, yeah. So 2 single crochets in the corner. And your second single crochet is going to be the start of your 15 single crochets across the bottom of the edge. So we're going to go ahead and put the second one in, and we're just going to count that as the first one. So that's number 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then just like the other side of the edging, we're going to do 30 half double crochets. So here I go with the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to work the rest of my half double crochets. I will meet you at the end of my 30 half double crochets. At the end of my half double crochets, I just need to do 5 more. So I'm at 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And then from here, you're just going to put single crochets in the last 15 stitches. I'm just going to go ahead and pause it here and I'll meet you at the end. I have done 10 single crochets. I'm on number 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And once again, we're going to work another single crochet in that corner stitch. And then we're going to turn. And here's my tail from the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and work over that so I don't have to tuck it in later. It just saves me a little bit of time. Now, once again, I want to go ahead and work evenly across. So I'm going to go with 1 single crochet here, working over my tail. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and since we put two single crochets in each corner stitch, our number 7 will go ahead and go in this corner stitch, so that way there's 2 because we have our beginning. So we're going to put 1 in this corner, and then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to this first stitch to join. And instead of finishing off here, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And now we're going to be working on the buttonhole. This will be what holds the button to secure it around the head. So here we go with, what I'm going to do is count my stitches. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet in the first 3 stitches. I'm going to chain 3, skip 3 stitches, and then single crochet in the last 3. So here we go with 1 single crochet. There's 2, and then 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet in the last 3 stitches. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now I want to chain 1 and turn. And basically we're just going to single crochet across. We're going to single crochet in each stitch and 3 single crochets in the chain 3 stitch. So here we go with the first one. Here's 2 and 3. And then this is where we want to single crochet 3 times in this chain 3 stitch. So we're going to go around it and single crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then single crochet in the last 3 stitches. Here we go with 1, 2, and 3, and that still gives us our total of 9 stitches across. And here is where we're going to finish off. So go ahead and grab your scissors. I leave enough so that way I can weave in my end. finish off here, pull it tight. I'm going to go ahead and cut off this little piece here that I crocheted around. And then I want to grab my yarn needle. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck in this tail here. So I will go ahead and turn it around. And then what I do to kind of make it look like it joins here is I'll go down to about this stitch here. And I'll just weave it in a few stitches across here. And then I'll pull it to, now it makes it look like it's been tucked in here and crocheted in. Then I'm just gonna go and weave it down. And then I want to go across some stitches here. I always tuck in my tail. I never cut it short, just so that way it holds up in the laundry and over time. Mine already came off. I was going to pull it off anyway. You just want to pull this tight. And then you can go ahead and grab your scissors and cut this tail off. Okay, so this is now what your ear warmer is looking like. You've got this edge here, and then you've got the buttonhole here. Now we're going to crochet a flower. So with your same hook, which is the J hook, you're going to go ahead and grab your yarn. For this flower, I will be using the magic circle. You can chain 4 and work your flower that way, but I do like the magic circle, so that's what we'll be using. I'm going to go ahead and wrap around my fingers. Oh, let me get that on camera. I'm going to go ahead and wrap around. I stick my hook in here, grab this one. I twist my hook up, and then I'm going to go ahead and chain 1. And then now what I want to do is work 10 single crochets around the magic circle. So here we go with 1, 2, here we go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, if I seem to be going too fast, please just pause the video, work your 10 single crochets, and then go ahead and push play and we'll be caught up. I'm going to go ahead and tighten my magic ring. My magic ring may become loose. This may open up. That's okay. I usually work half of my stitches and then tighten it up again, and then it seems to get real tight for me. If there's a little hole in the middle, it's not going to be a big deal because we will be putting a button there. So if yours has a little bit of a hole, don't worry, it will cover up with the button. Okay, so I have done my 10 single crochets. Now I'm going to just slip stitch to join right here. And then I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch around. That will give us a total of 20. So I'm going to start in the same one as the join, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch as the join, and then I'm going to go with 2 in the next stitch. So this will give me, that's 3 and 4. Next stitch will be 5 and 6. Next stitch is 7 and 8, 9 and 10. And then this is where I'll go ahead and just give my, because see how it opened, I'll go ahead and give my tail another pull. I don't want to pull too hard to where I break it, but hard enough to where it tightens up. Now my circle is completely closed. And now I'm on 11 and 12 in the next stitch. So that's 11, 12, and I am working over my tail. I always work over my tails as much as possible, just so that way I'm not stuck tucking in a lot of tails at the end. If you can't, that's okay. You can always sew it in later. On to the next one. And I lost count. Let me just go back and count them. If you ever lose count, just go back and count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I didn't count the first one. That's 14. So here we go with 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So mine had opened up a little bit and I did pull my tail. It does bunch it up some and then I just straighten it out. Okay, so I worked 20. I'm gonna go ahead and work one more in this. This isn't really a stitch here, but I will work one more. You could kind of see it here. I'm gonna go ahead and work one more single crochet in here. So that will give me a total of 21. So now I'm gonna slip stitch to my first single crochet. And now from here, I'm still working over my tail. I'm gonna go ahead and chain 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm gonna be working a triple crochet. This triple crochet is going to go in the same stitches join. This is gonna be starting our first petal of the flower. So triple crochet, you wanna wrap it twice, and then go into the same stitches join, wrap and pull through. Now you're going to wrap and pull through 2, wrap and pull through 2 more, and wrap and pull through the last 2. So 2 in the first, this first chain 3 makes the first stitch. Here's your second. And now we're going to do another triple. This is going to be number 3. And in that same stitch, we want to do another triple to make number 4. Triple into the next stitch, which is number 5. And now we're going to end with a chain 3. So we're going to chain 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to slip stitch into the same stitch as your last triple. So go ahead and slip stitch. I am still working over my tail. And there you go with your first petal made. Now what we want to do is slip stitch into the next stitch. You're going to go ahead and chain 3 again. There's 1, 2, 3. We want to triple into the same stitch. So triple crochet into the same stitch as the chain. Now we want to do 2 triple crochets into the next stitch. There's the first one. And here's the second triple. And then in the next stitch, we want to do another triple. You want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch into the same stitch as your last triple, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, and we're just going to repeat this all the way around. So again, you want to chain 3, there's 1, 2, and 3. Now triple into the same stitch as the slip stitch, 2 triples into the next stitch. I'm still working over my tail. Another triple in the same stitch. And another triple into the next stitch. chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then slip stitch into the same stitch, and slip stitch into the next stitch. Again, chain 3, triple, 2 triples into the next stitch, triple into the next stitch, chain 3, and slip stitch into the same stitch as the triple. Slip stitch into the next stitch, and just repeat, chain 3, a triple in the same stitch, 2 triples in the next stitch, triple in the next stitch, chain 3, slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, triple in the same stitch, 2 triple crochets in the next stitch, a triple in the next stitch, chain 3, slip stitch in the same stitch, slip stitch in the next stitch, and this is going to be your last petal. You're going to chain 3, triple into the same stitch, 2 triples into the next stitch, and triple into the last stitch here. Again, you want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into the same stitch. Now to finish this off, what I do is I go ahead and slip stitch into the first stitch I started in, which will be right in here. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into there, pull my yarn up just to connect to my petal. I'm going to pull my yarn up a little bit. I'm going to take my hook out. Now I'm going to insert my hook up through the bottom of where my stitch is where I joined. So I'm going to stick my hook up through the bottom of this stitch where it's joined. So it's in the same as this yarn and up, and now I just want to put my loop onto my hook. Oops, let me do that again. So I'm just going to put my loop onto my hook. It's going to be a little loose so I can tighten it just to grab it. I'm going to pull it down through. So now you can't see my loop. Flip it over. My loop is on this back side. I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook in here. And this is where I want to finish off my flower. So now I'm going to leave, you know, a little bit of a tail, enough to be able to sew the button on, and then sew the flower in onto the ear warmer. So I want to leave a couple of inches. I'm going to go ahead and trim my yarn here. So I have quite a bit, and now I just want to finish off here by pulling this through the loop, pulling it tight to make my knot. And then if you turn the flower over, here's the end of my tail here. I'm just going to trim that piece off. And then straighten my flower out, and there you go. You have made the flower. Now we just want to stitch our button on. So we're going to grab one of our, I use white, I'm going to grab one of my white buttons. I usually sew it on where the tail's at the right. I'm going to put my holes of my button this way since my tail's over here. I'll go ahead and thread my tail. And then I want to put my button on evenly, and then since my yarn's already over here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my yarn up through the button, back down on this side, and then I always do it one more time. Up and back down, just so that way it's on there securely. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and stitch this onto my ear warmer. So I'm gonna grab my ear warmer. I wanna put it on the right side, so I know that this is the right side because I edged my ear warmer. And then I usually feel to see where my beginning foundation round is, or row, sorry, my foundation row. It's right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put the flower on this side here. And I wanna make it, I don't wanna put it right in the center. I like to put mine, you know, toward, so here's about the middle of my ear warmer here. I'm just gonna put it to the left a little bit, and I wanna make sure I center it here on my ear warmer. And then usually what I do is I'll sew it on where my thread is going this way, and I'll sew my flower on that way. So what I'm gonna do, since it's here, I'm just gonna push my thread down through and pull it out this side. And now I'm just gonna pick this up and hold it right here now that I know my yarn is on this side. And what I'm gonna do, how I sew this to my ear warmer, is I'm gonna go around this part of my flower. I don't wanna sew my petals down, but I do wanna securely sew this down. So I'm gonna start, you'll be able to see me come up through. I'm gonna start right in here, pull this up, and then I'm just gonna go down right here. And then again, I wanna go up the next one here. And then I wanna go down in here. And basically, I just wanna keep going up and down through that round of the flower right there. And I do that so that way my flower is secure, but my petals can come up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to sew this around. I'm gonna pause the video here, and I will stop when I'm about right here when I'm almost done. I'll meet you there. Okay, here I am towards the end of stitching this on. I just need to come up through this one. I'm gonna go back down in here. And then I just have a few more. If I forget where I started, I'll kind of stick my finger under and feel around, and then I know I still have a few more stitches to go there. So I'm gonna, I think my thread is coming out, yep. Or my yarn. Go down in here. And you can see my petals are already starting to form and pop up, and I believe that I'm done. So when I'm done and I've ended where I began, I know my flower's on securely. I'm not gonna make any knots on the back of this. What I'm gonna do is just start tucking this in. I'm gonna go up through the next stitch here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tuck my yarn in through the stitches this way and pull it up on the other side of my flower here. And then I'm going to just do the same over here. I'm going to go back in, and then I want to pull it up through my flower over here. And then I can go down on my flower, come through the opposite side underneath, and then I'm just going to go ahead and trim my yarn tail here. And then see, you can't see it there. So here's your ear warmer. Now what we want to do is, here's the buttonhole here, so we now need to put buttons over here. Now this is where it becomes adjustable. If you're making this for your head or an adult head, and you just want to put one button, that's perfectly fine. If you're making it for a child and you want to use one button, that's fine too. I just suggest maybe putting that button here. Also, if this seems too wide for a child, you only need to do 6 rows instead of the 7. I like the 7. Again, I sell these like crazy at my craft shows, so I do make them adjustable. By doing that, I will put 2 buttons on here. I still like to make them go the same way as the flower. And what that does is it just makes, this one usually fits the women's, and then this one usually fits the girls. And I've had toddlers even be able to fit into this using this. And then I've just directed any mom that wants it for a smaller child, they can then sew a 3rd button on in here if it's still too big. And then they can wear this longer because as they grow, they can just move it down the buttons. So for this tutorial, I am going to go ahead and sew on my 2 buttons. You don't need to if it's not something you need adjustable, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So my first button, I'm going to put here. I want to center it as best as possible. I'm going to go ahead and sew from underneath and up and back down. And again, I'll do it one more time just because if they throw this in the wash, you want your button to be secure. And then I want to go ahead and cut another piece of my yarn, thread my needle, whoops, and go ahead and put my 2nd button right about here. I'll just make it like a finger width apart. Put my 2nd button here, try to make it pretty even. If it's not even, not a big deal. It's just going to hold your ear warmer together. Sew it on. Again, I want to go up one more time and back down. And then I'm just going to flip it over and tie them. So I always do double, so I'll go 1 and wrap it twice and pull, and I do that 3 times. Wrap it twice and pull, and then I do 1 more and pull. Same thing with this one. Again, wrapping twice, pull it tight, and 1 more time, wrap it twice, and pull. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut my tails off. And then you're pretty much done with your ear warmer. So you have your 2 buttons here, your flower, and then you have the buttonhole here. Go ahead and turn it over, fold them in. I display my ear warmers in the first button just so that way the 2nd button is shown. Otherwise, to make it a bit smaller, then you just hook it here and you see how much more it went in. But at a craft show, when I'm selling, I want to make sure both buttons are shown just so I can show the parents that it's adjustable and that it'll fit their little girl's head. So there you go. This is my my style of ear warmer. I've been making these for years, and I finally decided to just go ahead and make the video tutorial so everybody can enjoy making their own ear warmers. I make these in all colors. Like I said, they're my top seller, so let me know what you think. Please feel free to follow me on all my social medias. I do have a link in each video. If you are on Instagram, please, please, please tag me in your photos. I would love to see your photos of your finished items that you make from my videos. That gives me inspiration, and it just brings me so much joy to see what you guys are making. Also, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, thank you so much. Hope you guys have a very blessed time making this, and God bless.